Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Atlanta Falcons today. Let's jump into free agency grades on today's video, as Atlanta was extremely busy the past week. They signed a lot more people than we thought that they would, including a quarterback after the Matt Ryan trade. Before we jump into it, who has been your favorite free agent signing so far for the Falcons? Give me yours down below right now, and I'll tell you mine here in just 1 second. Alright, so obviously, as we mentioned on the title of today's video, let's jump into the free agent grades for the Atlanta Falcons. They did, like I said, a lot of work, and for a team that did not have a lot of money, a team we thought would be quiet during the NFL free agency period, not only did they make a blockbuster trade of Matt Ryan, they signed a lot of their internal players, and they went outside the box and signed some external guys as well. I mean, this free agency period, I know we're all mad about the Ryan Deshaun Watson situation, but the other moves they made are getting overshadowed because, honestly, they were pretty good. Okay, let's first go to the internal guys they went ahead and re-signed. A couple of key names here. You see the 5 up on your screen right now. Isaiah Oliver re-signed to play the slot cornerback spot. I like that move, very cheap. Anthony Rush, they liked what he did at D-tackle this past year. Colby Gossett, some depth there at guard. Younghoe Koo got a new contract, rightfully so. One of the best kickers in the NFC, if not the entire National Football League. And finally, Cordarrelle Patterson, who we knew he wanted to come back to Atlanta. It was just a matter of could the Falcons make it happen in terms of money, and they did. I mean, they gave him a 2-year team-friendly deal, paying him $5-6 million a year. I mean, I thought he'd be worth a lot more than that, but the free agent market wasn't as strong as we thought it would be for Patterson, or, as you saw on his social media accounts, he just really wanted to stay with the Atlanta Falcons, and I think that's probably what happened in the end. But Patterson coming back at least gives you one weapon this year. You expect him to add some more at some point this offseason, but at least one weapon has been added by the Atlanta Falcons in the name of or bringing back, I should say, in the name of Cordarrelle Patterson, and that is a good move and a good overall job by Atlanta, you know, getting some depth, filling some holes, and re-signing some of their key guys who were going to be free agents with the 5 you just saw. My overall grade for this is a B+. I think they did a very good job. I don't know of anyone else internally that I thought they had to re-sign. I think they let the people go that they needed to let go. They kept the people they needed to keep, and the expectation is that Atlanta now has some depth at these key positions, at cornerback and at D-tackle, on an offensive guard, and then of course your number one receiver as of now is Cordarrelle Patterson. So first off, good job re-signing your own. Pin comment down below, answer this question. How excited are you that Patterson is back, that he didn't leave us, he stays in Atlanta, true to his word? If you're pumped for this, on a scale of 1 to 10, let me know how excited you are, with 1 being not excited and 10 being like super, super pumped. All right, now not only did Atlanta sign some internal guys, they went outside the box externally and got some non-Falcon free agents, and these guys they signed are fantastic, starting with Lorenzo Carter. I guess technically outside linebacker, we'll call him a pass rusher, being added to the Falcons on a very cheap team-friendly 1-year deal. Now, Carter does not come in as some elite pass rusher, but he has the makings of a very good one, right? First 13 games in the National Football League, being a young outside linebacker pass rusher with the Giants, he didn't really do much. He had 0 sacks. Now, since then, he has been pretty darn good. I mean, 4 sacks in his final 5 games. And so he has had the ability to get to the pass rusher and, like I said, get to the quarterback, or be a pass rusher that gets to the quarterback more recently over the past couple of, like I said, games at the end of the year. He adds depth to the Falcons' defensive line, much needed. They still need to add more pass rushers. That's very, very clear. But you didn't think they were able to get a pass rusher in for agency until they went ahead and signed Carter to a 1-year deal. The Giants wanted to keep him, unable to happen, and so Atlanta makes their first big splash, and it was a good one. A+ for this. I mean, this is what you wanted the Falcons to do. You just didn't know how they were going to be able to do it. How are you going to get a pass rusher on a cheap 1-year contract that could actually have a real bright future in Atlanta? Well, enter Lorenzo Carter. Works out well. A+ for the Falcons. A very, very solid move. Okay, next move they did was for a running back, in Damien Williams, the former Bear, who, it's not a bad move overall, but I think, again, much like the, oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name right now, the Mike Davis signing of last year, we need to temper our expectations for Damien Williams, right? Like, look what he did this last season. I know he has been healthy overall throughout his career, but 40 carries, $164, 2 touchdowns. Like, Mike Davis had a better overall year than Damien Williams did. And I know that, where he played, who he was behind is a factor, but this by no means is the Falcons just signed their future number 1 running back. He's a third down option. Like, he's a backup running back at best. Atlanta still very much needs to go ahead and draft a running back in the upcoming draft, and the good news is there's plenty of good ones for them to go ahead and sign, or draft, I should say, like a Breece Hall or a Kenneth Walker or Isaiah Spiller out of Texas A&M. So C+ on the Williams signing. It doesn't. It's not bad. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's not like, oh my gosh, they fixed the running back spot, because they didn't. They added some depth there, but that was basically all the Williams signing was. You guys think the Falcons will draft a running back in April? I think that they will. I think for sure that they will. They need to at least help out Marcus Mariota or Malik Willis or somebody else. If you think that they should go ahead and draft a running back, type Y down below for yes. They should not. Type N down below for no. Now, of course, only real subscribers should be subscribed to Atlanta Falcons today. So if you are real Falcon fans, go down below and hit that red subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate you if you guys wanted to be a part of the fastest, or I think one of the fastest growing Falcon channels on the platform. Go down below and hit the red button. Plenty more great content coming up next couple of days and weeks. All right, next player they went ahead and signed. Again, one of the first ones that they did. A fantastic move. Cornerback Casey Hayward. Do you think the Falcons would get a cornerback that could start legitimately opposite of AJ Terrell? I did not in free agency, and yet here comes Casey Hayward, who, according to Pro Football Focus, held opponents to under 50% completion percentage last 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons in the league. A little bit older. Not necessarily the #1 cornerback in the league, but still a very good starter who can be a mentor for AJ Terrell. This, to me, is another A+ move. I mean, Carter and him are 2 A+ moves and very good signings for the Atlanta Falcons. You got 2 starters on defense this offseason when you really didn't think Atlanta had the money or the room to go ahead and get either one of them. So another good move there. I like the addition of Casey Hayward. He will be an instant starter, and I really am making for a very good tandem opposite of AJ Terrell. All right, March Madness continues with the Sweet 16 coming up tomorrow. Quick shout out to our friends at BetUS, your one-stop shop for all of your March Madness betting. If you want to jump in on the game, jetsports.com/bet. Your promo code is Falcons125. Get you 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. You put $100 down, use our promo code Falcons125. Turns into $225 for you to bet on. Whether you want to bet on the Atlanta Falcons or bet on not the Atlanta Falcons, bet on any of your favorite teams left in March Madness or not. Plus, in the future, you can bet on the Falcons once we get to the NFL season. So jump in with our friends at BetUS. You can chatsports.com/bet. That promo code is Falcons125. All right, final big player that they went ahead and signed, this comes right after the Matt Ryan trade, was quarterback Marcus Mariota. Now, it's very simple on this for me. Marcus Mariota was the best quarterback on the market, and very clearly they had a plan when they needed to trade Matt Ryan to go get the best interim option, and that is a guy who worked with Arthur Smith in the past, and that head coach Arthur Smith is familiar with in Mariota. Former #2 overall pick, was successful in Tennessee. Remember, he led them to a playoff game in 2016. I think he won 9 games, but since then, started to struggle, started to throw interceptions, was eventually benched for Ryan Tannehill. So he's not a savior by any means, but he's been able to learn and kind of grow underneath Derek Carr and in that Raider offense the past couple of years as a #2. Filled in at times admirably for gadget plays and trick plays here and there, but I do think he is ready for another shot at being a starter. He will not be a long-term option, but he still can definitely be someone that Atlanta can rely on this season to maybe win some games and hold down the ship while Atlanta tries to figure out their quarterback position, which leads us into the fact that Atlanta will probably draft a quarterback this year. And the rumblings are there at #8 overall. It'll either be Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis. Now I would insert Matt Corral into that conversation as well, because Corral, I think, could secretly be the best quarterback in this draft that no one's talking about right now, mainly due to the fact that Malik Willis had a very good pro day the other day at Liberty. But I do think that they will draft a quarterback and let him sit a little bit under Mariota, and then eventually Mariota will be benched. Insert your rookie quarterback at some point during the 2022 season. But again, the Mariota signing is an A-. It is a good signing. There are a lot of other quarterbacks they could have gone for. Andy Dalton, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, those are all bad options. This was the best one, and Marcus Mariota, I think they did a very good job doing that. Speaking of Mariota, that of course came at a price of trading away Matt Ryan. If you guys want to wish Matt Ryan luck at his best, or at his next spot, and wish him the best with the Colts, give the video a thumbs up. I'm excited to see what Matt Ryan can do with the Colts and with a real offensive line and a real running back and a real defense. I think he can do a really good job, and honestly, having met Matt Ryan a couple times, really nice guy. I wish him the best overall. Give the video a thumbs up if you guys agree. All right, final signings here, some quick ones that they went externally. They signed Anthony Rush at the defensive tackle. Again, some more depth in there. Not that maybe they'd shop Grady Jarrett, but they didn't, but just add some depth behind him, so that was good. Elijah Wilkinson, offensive tackle, they signed him as well. Good depth, good competition for Caleb McGarry at right tackle. And finally, Teez Tabor, the former Florida cornerback who was a Ryan Pace draft pick. He was a Lion draft pick overall, and so he came over from Detroit. Didn't do much with Detroit, but, maybe you can build him as a backup cornerback at cheap. Nice signing for Tabor. We'll finish on this. The grade overall for free agency is pretty good. It's an A-. I mean, honestly, I think Atlanta did do a good job. I know that the team still is not necessarily in a spot to win a lot of games in 2022, and I know the Matt Ryan trade, Deshaun Watson situation pissed a lot of people off, but I do think Atlanta, the Casey Hayward signing, the Lorenzo Carter signing, I think they did a pretty darn good job, and so credit where credit is due, I give them an A-. We'll finish on this. What grade would you give the Falcons 2022 free agency class? A, B, C, D, or F? I'll read the comments, see what you guys think down below right now. They signed a lot more people than we thought they would, and for that reason, again, I give them an A-. All right, ultimate for today on our Atlanta Falcons news and review video here with our free agent grades. Plenty more content coming up next couple of days and weeks. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep you guys up to date on everything happening with your beloved Dirty Birds. For Atlanta Falcons today, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.